Boom.
Nah you. Heart so cold, we change the temp of the room. These fakes we grow, we bloom in this fast car, we blow, we zoom, now shift.
So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about my gap year. So if I had to describe my gap year in one word, perspective. That's what I'll say. My gap year gave me a lot of perspective, and it kind of just made my foundation stronger, you feel me? I've been out here a couple of years now, and there's been numerous occasions where I've thought about, is this worth it? Can I stay out here? Can I do this? Obviously where I've doubted myself in it. But my gap year has, I think, really strengthened that foundation and given me a bigger reason / purpose to why I'm out here. Now my gap year wasn't out of choice, you feel me? It was out of necessity. I don't know if anyone's seen the video about my first year in America, but in that video I said, all your actions have a cost, you feel me? And the cost of my first year became very expensive, you feel me? My first summer back in England, it was World Cup / that Love Island time. I was trying to make hella money, have fun and grinding football all at the same time. That failed miserably because you can only juggle so much, you feel me?
So we're parked up, yeah? Look who you see running. Hey, Kobe!
So I remember calling my coach, told him about what happened, and he said to me, first he sounded vexed, but then after he was like, hey, you know what, just take a gap year, come back next year, you feel me? And I got to thank him for that. Thank you, Munga, because that gap year has helped me a lot, and it indeed saved me at a time, you feel me? So in my gap year, I was coaching, kicking ball for 2 teams. Obviously, I was doing my own little side projects, and then I was working full-time in a school. Guys, he wants to meet my children. His hallmark, child one.
You don't need your children, are you mad?
Oh, and 6 months finest. So I ended up in the school because after I found I had to take a gap year, these times I was still working at night, retail, innit? I was standing there thinking, all right, what type of job am I gonna do in my gap year? What type of job is gonna give me enough peas in which I can kick ball and still have time to myself? Like, it was a hard balance, and then it just clicked working in a school. You're working in a school, you're gonna get peas, you're gonna get a lot of holidays because of half term, and you're gonna have your weekends and whatnot. These kids got wrapped. Feck. My gap year is where I really established how people can be successful and really still make money and be good without going to school. You know, when you're in school, you hear about, oh, you don't need school to be successful and all of this. That's all good. But no one really has a blueprint on how they done it. They just know you don't need to have school. But the gap year gave me a blueprint of how one could still be successful without school. And no word of a lie, my mum was pressuring me to go back to uni, you feel me, hardcore. Even, my mum didn't even understand the gap year. She was like, listen, you've done your 1 year in America, you had fun, now come here and go back to, now you're back in England, go back to uni. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I left Nike. These times when I left Nike, I didn't even have a direct job in line, you feel me? So my family were pressuring me, they're like, why did you leave Nike? This, that. I didn't want to go back. I had enough. I'd done it before, and they pressured me so hard I even went back to speak to the manager just to say, oh, can I have my job back? He didn't give it back to me, and thank God he didn't. I said to my mum, listen, if I don't go back to America, I'm not going to uni. I said it straight. I said, if I don't go back to America, I'm just going to stay in ends and do whatever else I had planned. Thank God I went back to America and I continued with uni, but that's another story for another day. So I worked in a primary school, you feel me? And I worked with year 5 and year 6 mainly. I didn't want to work with the younger kids because that's boring to me. I'm just, how much can I sit, run around and play? Wow. Well done, Kasonia. Well done, Benjamin. Now, I can't even sit here and lie. My gap year was a dirty hustle. I'd wake up, I tried to wake up at 7, sometimes even 7:30, and I was rushing. So I'll wake up anywhere between 7 and 7:30, get ready, go to work, get to work for 8:30. I'll be working, and I used to finish work at 5. I would then go from work to yard, eat, get changed quick, then have to jump on train to Enfield, go train, come back home. These times I'll come back home like 11 something, you feel me? Tuesdays I was going work, coming back home, eating, changing quick, and then going to kick ball in Enfield again, but this is a different team, again doing my thing, coming back at like 11 or whatnot. Wednesday was usually game day, you feel me? So I'll go work, I'd take my stuff to work. I was going from work straight to games. Games, sometimes you're getting home again 11 something, bruv, sometimes even like 12. Thursday was like the away game, so if you went away, you're getting home at like 12-1, easy. If I didn't have an away game, Thursdays I was coaching. Used to finish work, at 5, try get to coaching for 5:30. I was coaching from 5:30 to like 9. Then Friday was like my chill day. But I was always doing something, you feel me?
Oi, what the fuck you doing?
Saturdays, the team I was coaching, we had games in it. So I'd go coaching, and then from coaching, I'd usually have my Saturday league games, and then that's when I would bop either back to Enfield, well, more Edmonton, and play. Or again, if it was an away game, I'm going from Hackney Marshall to all different parts of London. I was going from deep east to deep west to south. And it was just a hustle, but I didn't mind it, innit, because I knew there was a bigger picture to it. Even now, when I think about the other thought of giving up, or why am I doing this, I look back and I'll be like, Kobe, you went through all of that in your gap year to be where you are now. So the jug don't stop, you feel me? Like the grind really don't stop. Another thing that I loved about my gap year is that it opened up my mind to just so many good things and people, and I met so many good people that are like, they inspired me today, fam. Like I was playing for Enfield Town under 23s, innit, and I met a friend of mine called Gids, innit. Hey Gigs, what are you telling them, B? Grind don't stop, baby. On my life, I love Gids, fam. That's an older bro. He's just the guy like that. I don't even know how to go into that too much, but guys like Gids love. And another one, Ace in the Cleaners, fam. Shout out my guy Ace in the Cleaners. Put me on bare stuff, like in terms of just the information he was giving me bare gems. And even now, his Snapchat and his Insta, he's still inspiring me. So shout out Ace in the Cleaners, fam. I started kicking ball for coats and goalposts. Shout out the gaffer Shamik. He put me on like an Adidas campaign as like an extra or whatever it was. I got paid something light, but the whole experience was just sick.
Trying to be like you still, man.
Plug everything.
Head to toe Adidas. Man's just trying to be like you still. Trying to be like Shams still.
That's when I started kicking ball with Soho Warriors as well. I was aware of Soho Warriors before, but that's when I really started kicking ball with them. And again, they've just put me on some amazing stuff. They let me host one of their football tournaments.
Just Kobe on the line. You didn't know, now you know. Just go.
Through Soho Warriors, I met people that inspire me today. Guys like Drippy Dean, like Gabby. These guys are doing big things in it, and I just watch them and they're like mine. And I think, oh yeah, that's inspiring, innit? I remember going to some dinner with Guap Magazine, and I met some people there. Shout out my guy Chips. Gave me inspiration. They inspired me. Guap Magazine's big. Like in the back of my mind for the gap year, I always knew I was gonna come back to America, innit? But I did consider staying in England. I said it in another video and I'll say it again. If I stayed in England, I'll probably be making more money. I'll probably be richer. But would I be as happy? Only God knows, innit? One of the big inspirations behind why I came back to America is because when I was in the school, for majority of the year, I didn't tell people what I was really on or why I was working there. I just said, I'm here, innit? After a certain amount of time, when I started telling staff and students that I actually lived in America and I'm going back, their eyes like lit up. People looked at me differently, you feel me? Obviously, when I walked into the school, I know staff members had a certain stereotype of me, and I could tell. They don't have to tell me. I can see it, fam. You feel me? When I started telling people I'm studying in America and stuff, they were looking at me different. They were like, bro, what's this? When I started telling the kids I was kicking ball in America, even their eyes lit up. They were like, wow. I was like some discoverer to them, you feel me? And the biggest reason why I came back, outside of just wanting to, was I used to tell all the kids, especially the older kids, whatever you don't want to do in this world, you can do it. So far as you stick at it and you truly believe it and you carry on doing it, whatever you can do it. I was telling these kids this and I genuinely believed it. I'm not saying, I was real with them. I was like, it's not going to be easy, but if you truly want it, you can go and get it. And I was thinking to myself, all right, how can I be teaching kids these lessons? How can I be telling kids, go out there and live their lives and do the most, and me not go and do the most? Because I've experienced it, I used to go and tell these kids, listen, there's a bigger world out there than Hackney, fam. Some of them kids never left Hackney. I used to tell them kids, listen, the world is bigger than Hackney. The world is bigger than your area. So go explore it. So how can I go tell these kids, the world is bigger than this, the world is this huge place and you can do anything you want in the world, and then I'm still here working in a primary school in Hackney when I could be halfway across the world doing what I enjoy doing what I love, learning something new, learning a different culture, meeting new people. You feel me? I said to myself, there's no way I could stay in this school, or there's no way the future me can look at future kids or my own kids one day and tell them, go live the best life you possibly can, whilst I know I didn't. That's why I said, to sum up this year, was all about perspective, you feel me? It really gave me that perspective to just keep going and go live my life and just go be the biggest version and best version of Kobicoker that I can be. Peace, love, bird game. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Coca out.
You guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Keep being great.